All right, here I am at the Mount Shasta Headwaters with Natalie. What's going on, Natalie?
Hi, I'm so excited to meet a new person here yet at the Headwaters and Shasta. Nice meeting you, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
We just met as I was taking some photos in water from this beautiful, lovely rock that just spews out water filtered for around 50 years. So I read from the Sacramento River, and I just love coming here every day, getting renewed, refreshed, cleansing my mind, body, and soul with the people on the water in the mountain.
So to you, it's like the whole experience. It's not just the water. It's not just the people.
Yeah, it's a kind of like an island feel here because the volcanic aspect of it all. It's very fertile ground, and I believe that fertility is actually instrumental with all the people here, through the water, through the green, the trees, through the air, and the magnetism of the volcano. I believe that everyone is benefiting here, and that's why it's such a lovely place.
That's a beautiful aspect I haven't thought about. Yeah, they say that like if you eat plants that don't have like seeds, they don't have the vital energy, and it's like, maybe the land provides the same type of energy to us here.
Yeah, I believe it's definitely a healing place and a very fertile place, and you can become renewed here. Absolutely.
So you've been coming here for how long?
I came here once 8 years ago. It was my one and only time on the West Coast. I saw the mountain and I drank the water, and I was never quite the same. So I came back 8 years later, and I am making a home here.
I was gonna say, when did you move here? Yeah.
5 weeks ago I came here. I traveled across country in a van.
So you were called?
I was called.
Was it visceral or was it just like casual?
It's been calling since I've been here 8 years ago. I have to say, it was such a magnetic force between the mountain and the water. I felt a very, very, very strong sense of healing here.
Yeah.
And it's my time, so I can't wait for my girls to come here and join me someday.
Cool, you'll have like a goddess temple in like 3 years, the three of you, the three head priestesses.
I'm so excited.
So what was your initial, like how long did it take when you first learned about Mount Shasta to when you first came here?
So when I was here 8 years ago, I was actually filming, holding a camera for a series, a paranormal series.
Good. Yeah, we're going to get on that topic.
Yeah, I had never been to the town itself, just to the Mount Shasta resort. And everywhere I went, of course, there was the mountain. So I had drank the water one time. I went on walks on my downtime, and I was just mesmerized, hypnotized, glorified. And I knew that I needed to come back, and I felt the presence of all entities, from human to supernatural.
The full spectrum.
Yes.
So you stumbled upon it by accident your first time.
I was given a free ticket to hold a camera for a show, and I said okay.
Wow.
And then I was never the same. I just made plans, and my daughters grew up, and now they are intrigued to come here themselves.
Cool. So you're making the commercials for it. Nice. So how did like your expectations of Mount Shasta live up to like your experience the first time you came here?
I never researched Mount Shasta, so I went home and I said, well, what just happened to me? And it just resonated for 8 years. And I realized that I want to live the second part of my life with purity and value, and I want to be with like people that love the earth and love people.
Have you had any spiritual experiences or supernatural experiences on the mountain that you're willing to share? You don't have to be willing.
Absolutely. For the first time a week ago, I went up to the mountain to go camping. In my van, I had a tent. I was really apprehensive, but that's what I'm here for, and I needed to go for it, so I did. And I went around 7,000 feet up, and I witnessed the brightest stars that I've ever seen. The constellations, everything was. For 3 hours, I was fixated on the sky. I did see some planes here and there. I did see a couple satellites, but I saw a handful of UFOs, and I documented them.
Wow.
Clearly UFOs.
Wow.
And
were they watching you?
yeah, it was around 3 hours, and they were playing in the sky, and I believe that they knew I was there.
You know, the only place I've ever seen Starlink was a year and a half apart, and it was here. The first time was like 50 satellites in a row, and the second time was like 100 and then 100 crisscrossing. And it had been going on the whole time, but and I'd been outside the whole time. But the only time I ever saw Starlink was here. And the one time I was up there and I was on Twin Arrows, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Starlink. They just launched the rockets, and you know, they're still in low orbit. And the guy goes, those aren't satellites, they're eternal beings.
You know, at first I was skeptical, but then I saw the patterns it was creating, and it's unlike anything else.
Yeah. This is a UFO hotspot. I mean, it is.
It's my first time I've ever seen one, so...
So where do you think they're coming from? You think they're from another planet, another dimension? Do you think they're from, like,
yeah, I do,
another
but
Earth?
I believe that they're visiting Mount Shasta for its healing properties of the water and of the energy that it provides here, because we are so far removed from so much of, you know, mankind, and it's a fertile place. It's like an island. Yeah, to me it's an island.
Do you think they have an agenda?
I mean...
Other than healing?
No.
What do you think they want from us?
I think that maybe they are intrigued, but they're way more intelligent than us, and we might be like little puppies to them, and they're probably more interested in the people that are really believers of God and the earth and universal energies that are providing healing properties to all.
Yeah, you're right. I bet. Yeah.
I think that's why they're here, along with the properties of the mountain.
It's kind of off topic, but I read this thing yesterday about how elephants, whether it's true or not, how can you prove it? Saying that elephants see humans the way we see puppies.
Yes, exactly.
So maybe they just see us as just like 8 billion puppies. 8 billion puppies, just, they're so cute. Why are they angry?
But they know we adore them, and that's all that matters, and hopefully we'll grow as a people to care for them even more than we do.
So what do you feel about hallucinogens, psychedelics?
I actually tried my first chocolate mushroom here a couple weeks ago.
And
It was very helpful to me. I stopped drinking for 8 days now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I don't...
I'd give you a hug. It's just, I'd knock you in the water. Yeah.
I don't want to drink alcohol anymore.
That's so cool.
I'm 53,
Nice.
And the first time in my life that I realized that there's no good that can come out of it for me.
Yeah. Everything you need to drink is right here.
Yes.
Right here.
That's it.
Or maybe some coffee or some, you drink matcha or anything?
I do, but the water here is, I went into the water 5 times already, fully immersed down the creek a little bit.
You do the cold water plunges like Wim Hof?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
When we're done, yeah, I'm down. I love that stuff. Yeah. So psychedelics, you tried it, and was it something you were scared at all? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I've only done them a handful of times in my life.
What was it like? Go ahead.
But it's because I think I was here in Mount Shasta. It was the right place.
Yeah.
And it's making me feel that I can relax a little bit more, and I don't need to engage in the bar scene anymore, and I just want to be fully immersed in nature.
Yeah, it's hard. The bar scene, everyone wants to, in my experience, they want to talk about nature and hikes and all this fancy stuff, and they'll talk all night about plans. But then, you know, and not to disrespect them or like generalize anyone, but in my experience, people would always talk about all these awesome plans. But then time would come and they'd be like, oh, I slept in today, I'm hungover. Let's make plans tonight. And you would just literally spend 3 years straight making plans every night that you never pursue.
Yeah.
And that's my experience.
I have to say, with that being said, on the same note, back at home, everybody wants to, you go out, you hook up, people want to hook up here and there, but here, if you say, you know what, I'm on a journey, and, the men and women respect that here, and they just want to go for hikes and explore nature with you.
Yeah.
And
if not, you could probably sense it, and then you're your own sovereign being. You can choose to not interact with them.
Yeah, but for the most part, people are really down with just, hey, let's go for a hike, or let's go for, let's go for a swim or to a dance or whatever.
So do you want to elaborate on, like, say, you're a woman, you're here by yourself, do you want to talk about what it's ever like to have men approach you? I'm sure there's situations where you're very comfortable, situations where you're not at all. Like, how do you navigate that as a woman? Any tips or anything for maybe women that are about to travel on their own and maybe are kind of scared?
In the bar scene, you're definitely just going to get hit up, for the way you look or you're interacting with someone. But out in nature, in Mount Shasta especially, people don't do that on the daily. They respect what you're doing out in nature, and they want to share it with you.
That's really cool. So has that been a part of, like, your healing path?
Yeah, I've hiked with probably 3 different men at this time, and it was all about the journey of getting there, setting up camp, and experiencing what was going to happen throughout the night, whether it was stargazing or just sitting by the fire. Like, it was amazing.
So you felt like your boundaries were respected, and there was open communication and all that, obviously. And
yes, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now, how would you navigate it if, say, you're in that situation, all of a sudden you weren't comfortable? What if, like, everything seems fine, you show up, you're camping with a guy, and all of a sudden you're not comfortable? It's a tough question.
Well, I do take my own vehicle, and I have, some protection. But try to remain cool and use some psychology, maybe perhaps before anything else.
So diffuse, like?
Yeah.
Diffuse,
exactly.
deflect.
Stay calm.
Yeah. So, what does the power of Mount Shasta mean to you?
Life renewal. Absolutely.
Do you have any personal struggles you want to share that led to, like, growth, or do you want to share any, like, final words of advice, or do you have, like, a message, or do you have, like, a business that you want to plug in, or your social media and you're trying to start a big TikTok or something?
No, I gave actually, all those little platforms up, and I had fun while I was on them, but I just came here to work through a very hard breakup and chemical changes in my body, and I'm definitely exceeding all the levels that I always hoped for here.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Every day I walk around and I'm almost floating. And, I do run into people that are non-communicative and difficult, but then, it just rolls off your shoulder because you feel it in the air here. You just feel it in the air. And it's like a big Valium. It's wonderful.
That's awesome. So, to get your daughters to come here, what are you going to tell them?
Well,
what's your pitch?
They've seen pictures and videos, and they've heard me talk about it, so they're pretty much on board. My daughter in Yosemite is only 5.5 hours away, and
nice.
She can't wait to be here.
I bet.
And then my younger daughter's a biology major, so I'm hoping that she will use her degree here someday, maybe perhaps with the Native Americans or with the water, keeping our water clean and flowing. And
what do you feel about the Klamath Dam? You know about what they just did?
No.
They're taking the dams out here. I think it's the first time that Native Americans have, like, won in getting a government to take out the dams to clear the waterways.
That's wonderful.
But you got a lot of people that are like, oh, my lakes, my fishing lakes.
Yeah. Well, Native Americans are also doing a lot for our animals here, for the mountain lion. They're building, underground bridges for them, and
yeah, wow.
Because of the highways. So I am all about our natives.
Sweet. Well, I feel like I could ramble with you on camera for a while longer. Let's just skip it. But if you want to hang out, yeah, maybe we'll do the water thing.
Yeah.
Here's my friend Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hey.
Thanks again. Nice to meet you.